My fellow citizens, like they say, when everything is said and done, it comes down to the question, what must we now do? This week has been about nominations. Some have successfully gone through nominations. Some have not been, successful. Genuinely, while others have been unfairly treated by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. But it comes down to the question, now we have the candidates. What should the Zambian people do to ensure that the choices we are going to make in the August elections guarantees us of proper leadership? I always love the teachings of the late Dr. Miles Monroe, who emphasized that the hallmark of leadership and the choice we make thereof is about character. In his emphasis, he makes it very clear that when you are looking for leaders, go beyond somebody's words. Because, politicians, we can be very clever. We can say all manner of things. We can promise heaven on earth, and all the things. But you must go beyond the rhetorics of politicians, the promises of politicians. You must go beyond the qualifications. After all, leadership is not about school. Leadership is more about wisdom, and wisdom is naturally picked. But Miles Monroe emphasizes on character. What is this leader's character? Now, character is something that you don't just pick up today. It is a combination of many things. What sort of a person, or home did he come from, the background, who were his parents, what did he stand for, and all this. And so, in essence, when somebody today comes to say, I want to be a leader, you've got to interrogate those people from when they were born, what they stood for, what business they were involved in, what sort of a life they've led. This is a place where we are now asking ourselves, who should we now choose as the leaders that are going to guarantee us the perfect leadership? The last election, all of you, the Zambian people, voted out the PF on these four things, mainly issues of violence. The truth is that PF had cadres that were sometimes very violent. Okay, they used to harass people in the markets, in the compounds, and stuff like that. You voted the PF out because of corruption. The truth is that every government is corrupt, and you couldn't stand the issues of corruption. You voted the PF because of borrowing. Yes, PF borrowed, and borrowed excessively. You voted the PF on the basis of divisions. It was insinuated that the PF were divisive. Some regions were not being considered in terms of appointments and stuff like that. After 5 years, the people that you voted into power, because they are now the subject of conversation, it's the people in power versus those who are saying we can do a better job. That's what it has come down to now. It's the person we elected, put our trust in, whom we are now saying, has he done better? And then there will come a person who will say, I can do a better job. Just on these four issues, if we talk about violence, yes, PF had cadres, very, eruptive cadres, cadres that would make noise, cadres that would display money and all that things. These things unsettled the citizens, and on that basis, you were able to say no to Funyepama cadres. What about the UPND? Because it's now the opposition against the UPND. How have they done, around cadres? Now, I've always said this. Mwebe na Zambia mwalikwata a very small memory. Mulalaba bwangu. Elo foot, you don't take time to do research. Tamufuairisha. I have always said, by UPND are more violent than by PF. Those of you who have followed politics religiously like I have, will remember the Mufumbwe by-election, MMD versus UPND. Muke Shabak Mufumbwe, how many people were hacked in that by-election? The culprits were the UPND. Many of you have forgotten the Mapatizia formula, how the UPND used the Mapatizia formula led by the late Axon Sejani, to instill fear and to cause mayhem to the citizens who went against them. Many of you have forgotten the violence that were reported in the stronghold of the UPND, especially towards all those who did not believe in the UPND. You, the Zambian people, have forgotten that the UPND killed a provincial chairman of the PF in cold blood. Ukumupepeko omuntu na mabwe ne fimuti and was killed, and they were filming that. Jackson Kungo, killed by his own relatives, his own brothers, because of politics. Mwarilaba. Many of you have forgotten that characters like William Banda used to be menace in the political arena. Mwarilaba fionsefio. Over the last 5 years, we have witnessed unprecedented levels of violence. Away from the violence of PF that would make noise in the market, harass people and stuff like that, we have unfortunately witnessed another set of violence, unprecedented in this country, where people would be abducted. Bamuchita abduct umuntu, bamusenda, bamuchita torture, balemukopa no kumukopa, baposta na pamwela. The case of Black Apple. Black Apple is abducted in the presence of his friends, Thomas Palo, and in the presence of mourners at a gravesite. Bamusendo muntu, baya bamu pumaula, bamu bakopa no kopa, baposta na pamwela. Those characters, Karufianya, are still roaming the street, are still around the president. This is the same Karufianya who I took the IG to report. Nish mwafiriroku dealing an oyumuntu. He is the same character who was at the civic center there warning that Simon Mwewa should not file, the other lady should file. You saw how authoritative he was. This is the same character who was warning that Mundubire, he's going to deal with him. The police, nothing. They've done nothing. You've forgotten the story of JJ. Abducted. Some of you up to date, you will say, no, it was self-abduction. But he named characters. Interestingly, the people he named were said to be coming from State House. Now, those of you who said JJ was bluffing, today we have now witnessed the unprecedented levels of violence, not against the opposition, against themselves by UPND. You've seen how they've treated Honorable Gary Nkombo. And you now know who is at the center of the violence that was targeted at Honorable Nkombo. For those of you who don't know, Honorable Nkombo was significant in the electoral victory of UPND, but look at how they treated him. Basically because he wanted to go and exercise his right to participate in an election. The character at the center stage is said to be working at State House. No statement up to date has come from State House to refute this, or if it is true, to instill discipline by way of sending him out of State House. They've remained quiet. You know by State House how they respond very quickly when State House is accused. Today, they've failed to make a statement. Your guess is as good as mine. Now, what does this say towards the claim that JJ made, that he was abducted by people from State House? And now that we find now a guy with a gun and a knife going for Honorable Gary Nkombo. For those of you away from UPND, if you can see a guy as instrumental as Honorable Nkombo being treated like that, what do you think they can do to you, the ordinary people, the opposition? Look at the violence that has been recorded in the different places. Kuliakuli Jack Muimbu. Look at Chelo and his team, how they were hacked with pangas. Look at the violence that was recorded in Chavuma and in many places, all because of people wanting to exercise their right to participate in an election. Look at a political party in power, the champions who claims to be champions of democracy, insisting if we have not adopted you, there's no way you're going to stand as an independent. How can you trust such characters? Or how are such characters better than the PF? I have said the UPND have taken violence away from the markets and the bus station, from the streets. They've taken the violence into the offices. This is exactly what I have been talking about. Look at what has been happening at the Electoral Commission of Zambia, changing electoral laws and guidelines and agreements because by UPND they need to sort out their mess of adoption. Look at that. These are things that we should now be focusing on. What does the future look like at the hands of such a character? Look at the laws they created just to try and disadvantage other opponents. The public gathering bill, unprecedented. Look at the changes to the Electoral Process Act, just to insert clauses that will make them, disadvantage others or kick out competitors. What sort of a people can these be that you today should consider entrusting power to those people? Let's talk about divisions. PF was said to be tribal because they made appointments that seemed to have been one-sided. Ask yourselves today whether the appointments that President HH has made have been balanced. I have challenged you before. List the 20 most important institutions in this country. List them. Starting from the three arms of government to the most important, the security wings, parastatals, and everything else. Name all those who are heading those institutions and tell me where they come from. You who work in government, you know what I am talking about in regards to how people have been treated if you don't come from this region or you don't come from that region. The truth is, you like to pretend Mwebena Zambia. Tribalism has been so rife, so openly practiced, such that, an officer would say, we just need to employ Abauku. You know what I'm talking about. So in terms of divisions, if PF was a divisive government or party, I think this has proved to be worse. Let's talk about reckless borrowing. When PF borrowed, yes, they borrowed unprecedentedly. The UPND have borrowed worse. Each BP shape or fear. The PF, when they borrowed, we could see significant infrastructure. We could see, flyover bridges. We could see roads. Ngani kulusaka, konsena mu compound mwali be misebo. Kukitwe, kwali kwe misebo bapanga muma compound. 5 years of borrowing, nothing can be pointed at under the UPND. In the borrowing of PF, we could see major infrastructure, airports. We have Lusaka International Airport, the KK, Simon Mwanga Nkumbula in Livingstone, Hari Mwanga Nkumbula, Simon Mwasaka Pwepo in Ndola. Significant infrastructure that has enabled, better aviation, or to better the aviation industry. We saw hospitals. We saw, universities. MMD left Zambia with only 2 universities. PF left a good number of universities. Ababena, today, they keep promising universities. The same universities they promised in 2021. They promised a university in Northwestern. They promised a university in Western. They promised universities in all the provinces. How many have they built? Nothing. Where has their borrowing gone to? CDF toilets. That's all they can point at, is those toilets they were commissioning. Finch Fimbi, other than the 1x2 they've been building and boasting, around the issue of CDF. Significant projects, nothing. It is only the borrowed, project here, PPP, the Ndola Dio Carriageway, na Chingola Chidirabombwe, na yo Ninkongole isho tukaladi pila for the next 20 years, with a lot of corruption around that. So when you say the PF was borrowing and they were giving girlfriends, the truth is, I think that Ababa Nesu, all their monies have gone to the girlfriend. Number, these guys vakaso. I wonder if it is correct to say that to my girlfriends. Because Ababa kwatama penguin hands vakaso abantu aba. So your guess is as good as mine. Impia shiria, bari sunga, bari bikamu, bari twala kuma overseas. We keep hearing stories. One day, just one day, fika sokoloka. Ifila ala fia munda ya mumala. Corruption. Go to the Financial Intelligence Center and ask the levels of corruption under the UPND. Unprecedented. Corruption yaba PF has become pocket change to the UPND. All these things are things we've been talking about in the last 5 years. You've been ignoring. Because we, the Zambian people, can easily be deceived. Just like today, they've come back with the same lies. They lied to you. Ukukubepo mukumo, it's okay. Akubepo muntu wasumina, but ukubepo emikuibiri, to be lied to twice. The problem is not the liar. The problem ni wewe. Nishwalikwata kwa kabupuba. Because te tu muntu alikubepele mailo na lelo aleto ubufi umobwine wakonka nishwalikwata kwa kamungulu. And we the Zambian people must not be drawn in mungulu, where people can lie to us openly. Na lelo babwela. So these things that helped you or that made you kick out the PF, I think by now they are worse. And all of you are now asking, what did you do? Yes, you messed up. But an opportunity has come for you to correct your mess. You, the Zambian people, I keep repeating, muliba mulomo, mwanite mukuluila, ichibe mbachilanda tikapata mukaya, muenya kaya. The devil you know is better than an angel you don't know. These angels, you've seen them. They are now in default setting. You can only pretend for so long. The true character will come out at some point. We have now seen the true character of these guys by UPND. Time has come for you now to make a decision, to elect leaders that are going to promote unity, so that business opportunity should be shared for all Zambians equitably, without looking at what your name is, where you come from. Opportunities in government must be shared for all, squarely. We need to elect people that are going to promote unity, so that employment in Zambia, in government departments, mu police, mu army, mu ZNS, no kwashala, the nurses and teachers must be based on qualification, not secretly very study recruit by police. Secretly, but study recruit by ZNS. Secretly, but study recruit by NAS, using the famous database. You have an opportunity to elect leaders that are going to present opportunity on the table so that everyone can take part. You'll have an opportunity now to elect leaders that are going to, champion or prioritize the interests of Zambians in the exploitation of our minerals. These friends are all interested in giving their foreign, friends our mines and our minerals. Our young people who have gone to, prospect for minerals, gold, the UPND speaks about the people that were killed during PF by the police. Chipens at Mapulo, Vespas, and all this. How about the many people that have died at the hands of the police under the UPND? Would you forget that? This is your chance to elect leaders that are going to prioritize the interests of Zambians. You cannot continue to have leaders that changes the laws to perpetuate their stay in power. You can't. You can't have leaders that are so focused on ensuring that everyone with a dissenting view must go to prison. You can't. How many of your relatives are rotting in jail? This is your opportunity to secure the safety or the freedom of your relatives who have been taken to prison. But don't forget, unfairly taken to prison when he came no close to the crime he was accused of. Bachilangwa. Look at how Bachilangwa has suffered. JJ, umwana wabene is abducted. Kuyamletele milandu ishabako. Milandu ishachitike mu 19 pendefu kondono kuisala bashali isalikwe umuntu bali mupingula kumipingula ati yo alipangira omulandu. Bamwamba. Babutuka because of an unfair justice system. Nabatayari nangola bale pango mungulu kuli ababa. Tabakabwele if you don't act to elect leaders that are going to be just. Ngaba boman ukuyamuka ko muntu pakuya mukustafie pa market apita pa market ba mukaka. These are people you should think of in this election. Zambia belongs to you, all of you. You can't be a people that just keeps on complaining. Nothing can ever change by people simply sitting to complain. An opportunity has come now that you must liberate yourselves. You public servants, apa number 2 apa na tubapa nipa ground zero. There's no government has been dissolved. You the public servants, don't be given instructions. Baka pokola. Careful with the instructions you are being given today. Because government is about to change. Don't be caught up. I told you does not remain. I am telling you the instructions you are taking today. Careful. Because you are going to mistreat somebody who is going to be in charge. The judges, the magistrate, the instructions you've been given to send to jail all those who are opposed to the UPND. Be careful with the decisions you make today. Because government is going to change in August. So what I'm trying to say is now, let us all behave right. Let us all act right. Because the country is bigger than those who are causing you to commit atrocities against other citizens. Inshita ya Africa number, eo tufiro kubomfyo mutwe to elect leaders, not to kubomfyo to fumo. We cannot all be turned into bamchindankulambule, twerking for nshima. Bamushani na bwali, nge ififima MP twakwete, ifiba na fiabe nefi, ifia ile mkushani no ubwali. Fialabe nchito bafitumine ku parliament. That is an abomination. Those of you who are parading yourselves for leadership, it is for the people, not for your bellies. So you, the Zambian people, I keep saying this. An opportunity has come to interrogate your leaders. Na likwebere tabulapo. Ichikwanka bachimwena kumampalanya. You have seen it all in the last 5 years. Because people can only pretend for so long. Na abaiso kolola. Na abaiko maula. These are the people you want to elect back into power. Mulenjeba mukalalanda imwe. Mukalalanda, these criminals who have failed to pretend for so long. Mukalalanda imwe. Are you sure they will not just be abducting you? If they can abduct somebody, pamenso ya abantu pamanda. Nga imwe, mwebasha kwa tapona, mashanta mwakulalo wafe one by one. Are you sure you can endure another 5 years of silence through the bogus, cake, ancient cyber laws? Are you sure you want to be subjected to these laws, the public gathering? Because me, I can guarantee you, when you elect Binwell Mpundu, and I'll be alive then, All these laws, the cyber laws, the public gathering bill, the proceeds of crime law, we are going to remove them because they are, archaic. They are foolish laws. Amaka natumibwesha mwebe na Zambia, please, this is an opportunity for you to do right. Go out and speak to your friends, your relatives. And an opportunity is here for you to save this country, to liberate yourselves. How long are you going to continue crying, complaining of how unfair you are being treated at the place of work? You are seeing junior people without any qualification being treated much more fairer than you. You are seeing people being employed secretly. Imwe kwata muli bantu ngani mwe omwe misepela imwe bamipangira na chi app ati misepela app ukumitumpa ikakwati muli fipuba minu awena abana babo balebengisha secretly, and you the young people should go and parade yourself mletino kutira kwenyu mwabefi mito kwenyu mulela lensala kwenyu bale milira masuku pamito imo bache bandimo. What do you mutontonka nyashani? You mweba echebandi bajerabo, you've seen how they've treated you. Imweba chingola bakitwe mweba bayusu mweba ide kumufumbu oko na kumpika. You've seen how they've treated you. Instead of celebrating that you are earning a living through our mineral resources, they sent police officers to start shooting you. You must lead this campaign. This is your campaign. This is your election. Ine efenabelako is to inform you. Elo ine pampu miyamu biota pe mankalamu aikulia. I like to speak my mind and to say as it is. Isentubuke mwachira moto lo mwebe na Zambia. Wake up. All these provinces, Northwestern, what developments do you have? 5 years, no tangible development. Northwestern, no tangible development in 5 years, and you must go very early in the morning to vote for the same people that have denied you development. You even had some development under PF. What have you got under UPND? Time to act different. You, the people of Luapula, what have you gotten in the last 5 years? Both places, no single development in Luapula except for those toilets under CDF. Northern province, what can you talk about? By Eastern province, imisebo baambile Shitatu, Chadiza, Katete, Uko, Shonse, less than 60 kilometers. 5 years yapwa 10%, and they must come back and tell you that bari mitemwa. You the farmers across the country, look at how they treated you. Ukula mi panika to be sleeping in Salapama bank, spending your nights in queues at the banks, being paid after February. You must go and vote. Wake up. This is your moment to save your skins. I keep saying this because utulo tuachila mufwe na Zambia. Wake up. Imwe. Mukarikankala ndefu nchifudo kulanda.